and welcome back. Today I'm looking at Solus 4 as part of the Big Daddy Linux challenge. This is far from a review. This is not a review. This is just my initial impressions, my initial thoughts of what I think of it so far. I've done a few things with it, messing around with it, trying it out. Some things I did, some things I haven't checked out so much. I spent quite a bit of time trying to configure my shell the way I wanted it to be. More time than I would normally do on other distros. I like to use as you could tell, I like to use the ZSH shell instead of bash, and I like to have my ZSH RC run this little program called NeoFetch that it just basically displays the distro's logo on it and some basic information on the side here, and it tells me a little bit about the system, what it's running, some hardware information. But one of the things it tells me here is the kernel version that we're running here, 4.20.16, 112.current, whatever that means. Packages, it looks like there's 695 packages installed, and the package manager is EOPKG. Desktop environment, Budgie. Whenever I try out a distribution, I always try to go for its flagship. And since Budgie is Solus's flagship, it's their project, it's their baby, I decided to give Solus Budgie a try. As you can tell, it's not a fancy machine, standard 4-core AMD. Nothing too impressive, just 8 gigs of RAM here. Maybe someday I'll get into how I set up my ZSH shell, but for now, just bear with that. This is how I like to set up my shell, and I always try to set up a new distro that I'm trying out that way to my liking. It's one of the first things I try to do in any distribution. However, that's not how a new user would approach it. A new user would go into the Software Center, so we'll take a look at that. I haven't looked too heavily into this, so you're kind of seeing things as I am. We got desktop software and theming, gaming on Solus, internet software. Looks like there are some categories here. Then that goes into subcategories. I wonder, let's try to search for an application here. I'm gonna look for Stellarium. Yep. Stellarium 18.13. So we're going to give this a shot, see if it'll install for me. Looks like they give you an option to visit the website. the version number 18.3-13. Stellarium is just a virtual planetarium. Pretty basic program, and I use it quite a bit. It helps me map out the night sky or whatever. I don't have a telescope that goes with it, but yeah, this is just a test to see how well its GUI package manager will install something here. So we'll see if this works. And I'm going to try with a third-party application as well. As you can tell, there's this category up here for third-party. It's taking its sweet time. It could be because I'm recording this, and I could be taking up some system resources. Speaking of which, we'll take a look at that next. Well, this is how it's done in the GUI. It's not bad. It's not a terrible package manager here. It doesn't look like GNOME Software Center. I mean, it looks kind of like GNOME Software Center, and I thought that's what it was at first, but now that I'm looking at it closer, I'm not sure that's what this is here. Concentrating really hard. That's awesome. I'm glad someone is. Oh my, that's still installing, huh? On the next piece of software, I'm just going to run it through the command line to get it installed. I'm going to get htop, and once this is done installing, I'm going to get htop and run. Okay, well, it looks like it's done installing. As you can tell, I installed a couple things here. I installed Google Chrome. Try to pick something small here. Let's see, Flash shouldn't be terrible. I'll see how how this works. I wonder if this is using snap packages or something. Oh, that was pretty quick. It took a while the first time when I tried to install Chrome, but that's understandable because Chrome is a bigger package. So, yeah, so that's the software center there. Looked pretty nice that time. We'll take a look at what we got here. These are the Plata GNOME GTK themes here. I actually like this theme so much that I copied it to the desktop so that I could copy it to my main Arch system. I'm actually using these themes on my Arch system right now because they look so slick to me. So I just copied them over. But we'll take a look at what we got here. Okay, so it looks like we have to click it to find out. And what do we got for files here? Looks like Nautilus. I think it's Nautilus. Files. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that it's Nautilus. We'll see here. The version of Firefox that we got running. We'll see what that is. As you can tell, this is the Budgie desktop. I have little to no experience with this. It seems to be pretty original. Yeah, let's see what version of Firefox we got running here. Yeah, 65. Firefox 65.0.1. That's a pretty up-to-date version of Firefox. And we're going to attempt to install a package through the terminal here. If I remember this correctly, its package manager is eopkg. And to install a package, we type in IT for install. Don't ask me about these shortcuts. I ran a help tag to get a list of these. And I mean, I'm sure with practice, like if I did this every day, this would come natural. But some of these commands just doesn't, like, IT for install, like what, how would I guess that? Like, but we'll do this. Sudo eopkg. We're gonna search for htop. Sudo eopkg it. Matter of fact, we'll look up info for htop. We'll run sudo eopkg it htop. So here it goes. Gonna install it now. If I had to say about the package manager, coming from someone that uses Arch, coming from the Arch family, more so with Pac-Man and whatnot. It's a ELPKG. It seems like it's a unique package manager. I don't have nearly as much experience with it to make any judgment calls on it. However, I find this help menu very helpful. I find it very clear. However, it will take me a while to remember all those commands. But yeah, we'll run htop here. No, I know what I typed. It's not bad. 805 megs. Keeping in mind that I'm running OBS right now to record the desktop. So it's not exactly idle. Hasn't touched the swap. That's pretty good. So next we'll check out what everybody has been raving about, the Raven menu. This is my first time really looking at this. We have apps, OBS. Looks like a media controller here. So I got OBS running, so that would show up here. Devices, headphones, speakers. Okay, so it looks like it's got a volume controllers. It's got a calendar up here. Looks like I can. Looks like that's about it. Notifications. I don't have any notifications right now. Overall, what do I think about this? First impressions. It's pretty neat. I think that Budgie is what GNOME could have been. I guess what it should have been. From what I've seen so far. Between Budgie and Cinnamon, I mean, I don't really see anything that's coming to the table that's original aside from the Raven menu. But I guess, I mean, you can only reinvent the wheel so many times, right? So far, so stable. I got no complaints about that. We'll look through, see what we got for default applications. We got some of this I installed, like Hangouts, Google, Stellarium. We just saw that we installed that. Graphics, they got us LibreOffice Draw. I installed Chrome. Firefox and Thunderbird it came with. Transmission, HexChat, Office. Let's see what version of Office we got here. Looks like Office 6. About LibreOffice. What about you, LibreOffice? You are version 6.2.2.2. That's a lot of twos, but it's LibreOffice 6. It's a pretty up-to-date version. I can tell Solus, from what I understand, Solus is a rolling release. Doesn't seem to be as bleeding edge as Arch, but I do think that Solus, they curate all their applications to make sure that they function on Solus. It seems like their goal is perfection, stability, which is understandable. You want to have a stable system. Looks like we got system settings. Looks like everything is separated by category here. Yeah, system tools, we just installed HTOP. Budgie desktop settings. So, I mean, it looks like it looks like Budgie is still in its it's still up and coming, right? Like, it's original, it's nice, it's stable, and I tell you what, I'd use it over GNOME any day. But I guess that's not really setting the bar too high. Nothing against GNOME. It's not my favorite. Budgie, on the other hand, I think is very, very slick, very nice, and these wallpapers here, it's very clean, very stable. So as you can tell, I got OBS working on it. What's some of the things I normally do? I do Netflix, Hulu. Sometimes I do games, but not on this machine. I was able to get Netflix and Hulu to function in Firefox. In Solus. So that was flawless. I mean, that's about it. I mean, there's not really much to say about it other than that. So, what are my overall first impressions? Very stable, rock solid, very clean. It's impressed me a lot. I like that it's not based on anything, right? It's its own project. It's not another Debian clone or Ubuntu clone or Arch clone or what have you. It's its own thing. It's its own project. It has its own package manager, which I would say perhaps it could use some tweaking to get it to feel a little more natural, like apt install or whatever. That being said, I'm sure with enough practice with that particular package manager, it would start to feel natural and one could get used to it. So I'm not knocking them for that. I think that, like, what are some of its advantages? Some of its advantages are that the Solus team packages, tests, and curates each application, each package to make sure that it's going to function, perfectly on your system. What does this mean? This means that your system is going to be rock solid, stable. However, what it also means is that there's not going to be a lot of software available for Solus. This is one of the things that might keep me from using it. that's not necessarily a bad thing if you're looking for stability. So I mean, overall, could I live in Solus budgie? Yeah, I think I could. I think I could live in Solus. Um, I've been able to get everything that I would normally do working on it. Um, Matter of fact, you know what? The one thing I haven't tried is to get my printers working with it. So I mean, we'll give that a shot, maybe off camera, and I'll give you an update if I jump on Biddle on Saturday. I'll update whether or not that works. I just have 2 HP printers, so shouldn't be too difficult to get HP lip working on it. Matter of fact, let's see if that's SR is for search. I wonder if it's in the official repos. It is. So yeah. HP lip is an excellent application if you have HP printers. I've never had an issue with it on any distribution. Well, that being said, I think I'll end the video here. My overall impressions. Again, this is not a review. These are just my initial thoughts, my initial impressions. And I'm sure there are people that are much more experienced in Solus than I am who can perhaps make some suggestions and help us out in the comment sections. Make sure to comment below. Yeah. Overall, I would give it. The only thing that would keep me from running it is, I've been spoiled with the AUR in my main rig with Arch Linux. But that might not necessarily be a good thing, right? Because there's like everything on there, and sometimes you might install something that could break your system or whatnot. With Solus, everything has been tested extensively, and they make sure that everything is rock solid. And so I give them credit for that. And again, it depends completely on your needs. And if you would like to check Solus out, I will include a link in the description. Make sure to comment and subscribe if you want to see more content. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.